Republicans on Capitol Hill in a bad position over the sexual assault allegations against Alabama Senate candidate Roy Moore, despite his claims that they are completely false. I want to talk about this with CNN political commentator Ed Martin and Evan McMullin, a former chief policy director of the House Republican Conference. Gentlemen, good evening to you. Ed, two Republican senators, Mike Lee of Utah and then Steve Daines of Iowa, who had endorsed Moore, now say it is time for Moore to go. They are not alone. Watch this.
I think Roy Moore needs to step aside now. These allegations are disgusting, and I believe them against him, and there's no way to defend this. And secondly, I think the Senate should say that they will refuse to seat him, or in fact expel him if he is if he's the senator from Alabama.
But Ed, the state Republican Party has taken a different tack. One GOP consultant in Alabama summed it up like this: I think it was already perfectly well stated that no one in Alabama gives a S, an ish, what Mitch McConnell or John McCain thinks we should do. Is that the standard we should be using here?
Well, Don, can I clarify? Was that Kinzinger, Adam Kinzinger, that spoke? I can't see the thing.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, okay. Look, I mean, you have a gathering of all the people who didn't want Moore to be in the race, and this is an old-fashioned. If you ever ran a campaign, I know Evan ran for president, but Don, I don't know if he ever ran, but if you ever run a campaign, you've seen a lot. Down the stretch, this is an old-fashioned political hit, and it doesn't matter. All the people that are saying run for cover are people that don't believe that they want a conservative there. And Kinzinger, I'm going to do a rally in 10 days in Kinzinger District. He won't run for re-election. That guy, he's not a real Republican. He's not a conservative. So the litany of people that are saying this, the Republican Party is not split. Evan McMullin left the Republican Party, and the people that don't want to be on the side of Moore and Martin and Trump are leaving the party, and that's fine. Because
are you saying the same thing about the president? Because remember, the president didn't want Roy Moore either.
No, he came around to him, and I don't mind. I mean, you can have disagreements in primaries, but you see, after a disagreement in a primary, which is what we had, we now have the Washington Post and Bezos and Republicans. You notice the coordinated. This is the same game that McMullin's pals, Romney and the boys, did to Trump. As soon as Trump had the Billy Bush video, there was a coordinated rollout where Romney said, "Oh my gosh, it has to stop."
It sounds like you're
and then
channeling Bannon here. But let me ask you: do you believe Roy Moore, or do you believe the women?
I believe Roy Moore because why? Because after 40 years and 40 days before the election, you get a political hit. Don, if you're remotely serious, you have to first say, what is this woman? She's got multiple bankruptcies, it's reported. She's got multiple false accusations, it's reported. Is any of that being covered? When McConnell comes out and says with a straight face, before any of those facts are got, he says, oh boy, if it's true, he has to get out of the race. That's called a political hit. And Don, we the people, the American people, we're sick of both parties. Democrats and Republicans.
I've got to get Evan in, but I have to say I don't know. It is not CNN's reporting about any false allegations. We will certainly check into that. But
okay,
but she admitted in the Washington Post article that she has a past and that she was afraid that people would use it against her. So Evan, former presidential candidate Mitt Romney weighed in on the controversy and said this: innocent until proven guilty is for criminal convictions, not elections.
Outrageous.
I believe Lee Corfman. Her account is too serious to ignore. Moore is unfit for office and should step aside. So, Evan, Mitt Romney got a lot of props for that statement, but is anyone listening?
No one.
I think people are listening, but, you know, Ed's comments are interesting themselves. So what Ed has just done, if you listen to him, is he's made it a litmus test. Either you're with Moore and therefore you're a Republican, and you're not,
and you're not, and you're not, that's a straw man, buddy. That's a straw man, buddy.
Can you let him finish, please?
Ed, I listened to you
very.
Ed, I listened to you very patiently. Now I'm going to respond. Okay, buddy?
Okay. Yeah, but don't make stuff up, Evan. Everybody's sick of you making stuff up. Nobody's impressed.
Can he please finish, Ed?
Yeah, go ahead.
So Ed says that all of us who are attacking Moore on this issue of pedophilia are not with the Republican Party, and it's time for us to leave, and we are leaving. Now, Ed is in part right about that. Many of us are leaving or have left over the Access Hollywood tapes or other such issues, the president bragging about sexually assaulting women. That was his own voice on that tape. And now we have this accusation against Roy Moore, which I think it's credible. And see, the sad thing is that Ed and others like him are saying, look, if you're going to attack Roy Moore over this, you're not a real Republican, you're a Democrat, or you shouldn't be with us, etc. The reality is the party needs people like us to even have a majority, in the House, to have a majority in the Senate, to function at all, or to have any decency, I would argue. But so this is the thing. You get rid of us, what are you left with? But let me just say, you are losing us, and it's becoming increasingly
Good
difficult.
riddance, Evan.
Oh,
Good
okay,
riddance.
Ed. Okay, Ed.
Good riddance. I mean, nobody's
Ed, hold on,
Don,
Ed.
hey, Don,
Ed,
well,
hold
long-
on,
Don,
hold on,
how
both
long
of
does
you.
he get
Ed,
to talk?
hold on. Listen,
long does he get to
listen,
talk,
Ed,
Don?
you spoke for a long time. He sat there patiently. There is no need to be rude, even if you don't disagree with him. If you feel that you need to respond to something, please let him finish, and then you can respond to him. But don't be rude. Go on, Evan, finish your point.
Look, it's just becoming increasingly difficult for decent people to associate with the Republican Party. That's the reality. This shouldn't be a difficult test. You just heard Ed attacking a woman who is a victim. She's a victim. She was a Trump voter. She's a Republican voter. She's had a troubled life. Many people who are assaulted and sexually abused as children then go on to have challenges in life. That's not uncommon. And here you are attacking her when she's bringing to light an issue that's actually.
Come on, Don. Give me a break, Don. Come on. No, I didn't attack anybody. I said there's facts. If you're going to cover a story, I said there are facts on both sides. And here's the facts, Evan. You want a country that was being destroyed by your policies. You see, the American people rejected you. Yeah, immigration on demand and amnesty and trade deals and all those things. No, it has to do. No, it has to do.
You have no idea what my
hit
positions are on those issues.
Because the hit job, of course I do. Because the hit job.
No, you don't, because you mischaracterized.
Hey, I thought we were going to have. Hey, Don, I thought we were going to let people talk.
I'm really out of time.
Yeah, Don, we were going to let people talk.
I'm really out of time here. So if you get to the point you keep talking about people don't want Evan, and you keep.
I thought you were going to.
Ed, here's a problem.
I
let you talk for a long time. He sat there patiently. The moment he opened his mouth, you started talking again. You know what that does? It doesn't give you the opportunity to respond because you eat up the time here by yelling and crosstalk. I got to go. We're done. When we come back, special counsel, thank you very, very much, by the way.